Well, hello, folks. Well, round one at Wimbledon was characterized with what just happened to me, the slip. So many slips were happening in round one at Wimbledon. That's really the storyline that's taken over here at the beginning of the championships. Unfortunately, we've seen Serena Williams go down. We saw Adrian Mannarino go down in today's matches with injuries, not able to continue after slipping on the green, untouched grass at Wimbledon. So we're going to get into why the courts are playing like this and, is it going to be a massive problem going forward? We're also going to take a look at Federer getting squeaking through this match. Kind of luckily, he said himself. Djokovic getting through with dropping a set. Tsitsipas bowing out. So many matches going on. So many slips going on. We're going to get down into all of it right now on the Slices coverage of Wimbledon 2021, brought to you by Rally Tennis. Well, like I said, there was a lot going on in round one. The last 2 days have had weather, and that's caused a lot of match delays and cancellation, postponements, and there's been a lot of slips. And those, like I said, have been the headlines so far of round one. But it's been an amazing tournament also with Wimbledon being back. It's been 2 years since we've been on these courts, and that's amazing. So we're all happy to be here. And I'm happy to be presenting the Slice to you, presented by our friends at Rally Tennis. It's the new app where you can find people in your area to play with, have new practice partners, join leagues where you can compete and then challenge each other in playoffs. There's so many other things, they've just finished a giveaway. So if you didn't get part of this one, follow them on Instagram and be on the app for the next one where they're giving away free rackets and bags with partnerships with Tennis Warehouse. Anyways, the link to download the app is below, so do that right now. And thank you, Rally Tennis, for supporting the show and our coverage of Wimbledon. Wimbledon it's so prestigious and it's such a classic event. It's the most classic event that we have on the tennis calendar. And for that reason, it's kind of almost extended how it normally is. The grass is always slippery, especially at the beginning of tournaments, on the center court, because if you didn't know, center court doesn't get played on throughout the year. It just literally sits there getting pruned perfectly. They're there like our grass court wall right here, just snipping the pieces of grass for it to be perfect for them to play. And then the players get out there and it's fresh, lush at the back of the court, and you always see a lot of slips. Now, is there more this year? I don't know. It seems like it. And Djokovic, after his first round match beating Jack Draper, said that he had never slipped more. He looked like he was literally stepping on banana peels, like in Mario Kart. It was almost comical. And he's so flexible that he didn't get hurt. But then, we obviously saw Serena Williams roll her ankle and then not be able to continue. And Adrian Mannarino slip, twist his knee, kind of just center court, front of everyone's eyes, watching these injuries go down. So, everyone's talking about it. Is it more slippy than it's used to be? There's obviously a few reasons for that, and I'm probably not blowing anyone's mind by saying that, but 2 years with no play, I think, contributes to that, not as worn down. It's indoors because it's been raining the first couple of days at Wimbledon. They've been playing a lot of these matches indoors, and Federer said after his match he thinks it makes it a little bit more humid. Jason Goodall as well, they've agreed. But then there's also been the shorter turnaround from the French Open after the French Tennis Federation just arbitrarily moved their tournament back a week. That gave players less time to prepare and acclimatize to the grass. So that makes sense that when they come on Wimbledon, they're not as used to it and they have more chances to slip. So that's kind of why it's happening. Is it going to be a bigger problem going forward? Who knows? But I think normally what happens is the courts get more run down and they get drier out, especially as the weather's supposed to be a little better. So let's hope for no more injuries, no more slips. And I almost injured myself here, so we just can't be doing that anymore. That's just getting too much. Now, before I get into the other things, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. If you think Djokovic is going to win Wimbledon, like this video. If you think Federer's going to win Wimbledon, also like it. If you like this type of journalism, like the video and subscribe. It really helps us out. And check out our website, theslicetennis.com. It's the best website we've ever had. For sure, it's got the Wimbledon live scores. It's got all of our articles, tweets, posts, videos, all in one place. So thanks for just checking out, bookmark it on your browser, because I know you're watching this on a browser. What happened in this first round? The biggest story is Federer Escapes. So Federer's playing Adrian Mannarino, who is always going to be a tricky opponent. Just the way he plays, he's left-handed, and he just had some good form in Mallorca on the grass there. So Fed started okay. He won the first set, but right at the end of the first set, I texted, Fed's not playing well, really, but he won the set. So I think that might be a good sign. Turned out to not be a good sign because he kept not playing well, really, and it got worse, and Adrian Mannarino really started to dictate from the baseline and look a lot better. What Fed's serve was okay. He wasn't getting a ton in, only about 61%. He served 16 aces in 3.5 sets, which is pretty good. And then he only won about 74% on it when his first serves went in, which is a little low. Not as much pop, not as good of placement, but his forehand was just out of whack. Like I've seen Federer play some pretty bad matches by his standard, obviously, through the years, and him shank a lot of forehands when he's not hitting it well. This is the worst I've seen it, and that makes sense because he's coming. We've all talked. He's on the big comeback. He's trying to figure it out. We all get it. But it just didn't look like he was like really committed to where he was moving. He wasn't moving with authority. And that just means he's guessing still a little bit and doesn't have his timing and his rhythm. So like he said, he's a little bit lucky to get through today. He was turning it around at the end there. So in the fourth set, he had gone up 4-2 and he was starting to roll and he's starting to shorten points on purpose like he talked about. So he's playing better. And at that point, I was thinking Fed's winning this set for sure. And obviously you're going to back the guy who's won 20 Grand Slams in a fifth set. In that one. So, and then Adrian Mannarino went down, but you really feel for Mannarino because he was the better player for the majority of that match up until that point. So yeah, Federer's got to improve going forward for sure to have a chance to win Wimbledon for sure. He's got Gasquet next. Can't see that being as hard because they've played a lot. And I think he's going to obviously, I just trust that he's going to get better as things go on. He made it through one round. We'll hopefully see him play better next round. He'll want to see that too. Djokovic slips and then rolls. He drops the first set versus Jack Draper, the James Bond, the young British guy who's just the absolute stud. He's like the next Andy Murray, but like 1,000 times better looking than Andy Murray. No disrespect, Sir Andy. But Jack Draper played very well at the beginning. Djokovic really should have won this match in 3 sets, except he just somehow didn't break on 7 breakpoint chances in the first set, and Jack Draper held serve then. Djokovic played one bad service game all match, and he got broken in it. But other than that, Djokovic served amazingly. He served 20 aces, if I'm not mistaken, and that's looking scary for his opponents at Wimbledon. That's a really good sign for Djokovic and his fans. If he's serving well, that's going to make him even deadlier on the grass. And Tsitsipas has lost now. Not that he was probably going to be that big of a challenge. He might not have made it to the semifinals, but it was the highest person on the top half. So Djokovic, his half is opening up a lot. He does, though, have a tricky match against Kevin Anderson next. So they played in the final of Wimbledon in 2018, if you do remember. But Kevin Anderson's had a lot of injuries, so his rankings dropped a lot. So he's coming into this. Kevin Anderson's not in his top form, but obviously he's been very good in the past, made multiple Grand Slam finals. So he's got the game on grass, especially to hurt Djokovic. So we'll see there. Obviously, Djokovic is the massive favorite, but if somehow Kevin Anderson gets super hot and just blasts serves, and you never know what can happen. Maybe there's more slips, but Djokovic is the obvious heavy favorite. But that is a tougher than normal second round match, and that might be the toughest match he has for a few rounds after that, Djokovic. And I almost forgot to talk about Andy Murray for you British fans who are no doubt watching the slice from England. So, Andy Murray, one of the biggest stories at Wimbledon. Obviously, love to see him back on the court. And he's acting like, why is everyone talking about my retirement? I'm going to play until I can't play anymore. And then he beat Basilashvili, who's like a top 28 player. And he's like, yeah, I just beat this guy and I've barely played all year. So I love that talk from Andy Murray. But that match was almost super sketchy. He came out, played very solid. Andy Murray just played better. He's just obviously clearly a much more experienced, better grass court player than Basilashvili. Obviously, he still has some of that rust, but he was able to overcome that with his experience. And then he's up 2 sets to love, and then he goes up 5-love, and this match is over. It's done. Just clean it up. And then all of a sudden, he gets broken 5-1. And then Basilashvili holds 5-2. Broken again, Andy Murray 5-3. Basilashvili holds 5-4. Everyone's like, oh, what's happening here, Andy? Broken again 5-all, and then 6-5 Basilashvili, and then broken again 4 breaks in a row. So Basilashvili coming back now. Was this going to be one of the biggest chokes of all time? It would have been. That would have been a real choke. If people always want to know what a choke looks like. They say Federer lost Wimbledon when he's up 40-15 on his serve. That's 2 points that he lost in a row. That's not choking. That's losing a match when you have match points. If Andy Murray had lost that from 2 sets to live up 5-0, that would be a massive choke. Luckily for Andy, though, the rain came in, as you guys all saw it. Basilashvili's momentum kind of got stopped, and then Andy Murray regained his composure and finished it off. That's great to see from Andy Murray. Like I tweeted out, tennis is better when Andy Murray's on center court at Wimbledon playing great tennis. So I'm happy to see old Muzza back on the court doing his thing. Tsitsipas bows out in the first round to Frances Tiafoe. So Tsitsipas is going to go out to anyone. I'm happy it's a guy like Frances Tiafoe, who we obviously love on the channel. Great guy, great game. Tsitsipas, though, he's coming off a really good French Open where he arguably should have won the tournament, up 2-0 in the final. And then it's bound to be when he also learned, I think he lost his grammar right before the match. There's his letdown. He didn't play any grass before coming to the grass. And if you look at his stats, his win-loss record, grass is his worst surface. And based on his game style, it kind of makes sense. His best surface is clay. He likes time on his shots to make, use a huge forehand and even get over the backhand. He can really do better with that and get more spin when he has more time. On the grass, it stays lower, and he's tall, so that's hard. And it ends up pushing a lot of backhands long. And he doesn't really have a great slice game yet. And he's going to need to increase that more and use that more as a tactic if he's going to play better on grass. But it's just a tough opponent because Frances Tiafoe, make no mistake about it, played like a baller. He played very mature. He was fighting in the rallies, playing super solid from the baseline. Just played the type of tennis that you need at Wimbledon. Had a lot of variety, super good at the net, just clean, looked locked in. So that's great to see from Frances Tiafoe because we love him, and he's looking good. His quarter will have opened up a little bit there for sure. Playing Vasek Pospisil next, leader of the PTPA. Vasek Pospisil was a little spicy on the PTPA press conference when asked, is this a players' union? Are you guys is there any danger to participation in the future? He's like, yeah, well, we do. The chairman of the PTPA was like, no, I'm not going to talk in hypotheticals if the ATP won't work with us. And then Vasek pipes in. He's like, well, we actually have a majority of the players, so we'll see when we get to that. And he's like, it was kind of aggressive. And I was thinking, that sounds like a union talk to me, which would not be good for tennis, I don't think. Anyways, I made a video about that. You could check that out. But yeah, a lot of action in the first round. A lot of these matches aren't even done. Kyrgios, Humbert, amazing first round match, isn't quite done yet. They're 4-all in the fifth set. So that's a shame that happened so early on. But just so many matches going down. That's kind of a slice of the pie of the main story. Serena Williams, unfortunately, goes out with an injury. Mannarino goes out with an injury, unfortunately, when he's in a pretty good position against a struggling Federer. Djokovic slips and rolls. How many more slips are we going to see at this tournament? Is it going to be a serious problem going forward? What do you think? I also want to get your takes on Federer's form, Djokovic's form, and the rest of the lot here on the sites. We'll see you down in the description or in the comment section below. Thanks to our sponsor, Rally Tennis, for presenting the slice during Wimbledon. Also get 10% off brand new rackets, shoes, strings from Courtside Sports. And Bear Mountain is our home tennis club. We'll see you very soon, folks.